What if I told you the only thing standing between you and everything you want is the version of yourself you keep pretending to be? Not the real you, not the authentic you, the pretend you, the one who acts like they're still waiting, still becoming, still not quite ready yet. And here's what's going to mess with your head. You're already pretending. Right now, every single day. You're just pretending to be the wrong person. You're embodying the identity of someone who doesn't have it yet. And your brain, your nervous system, the universe itself, they're all responding to that performance. They're taking notes. They're saying, oh, this is who you are. This is the role you're playing. Okay, we'll make sure your reality matches. And it does. Every single time. Watch this before January 1st. It will change your life, not because I'm going to give you some motivational speech, but because I'm going to show you the one thing nobody's told you about how transformation actually works. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you understand this, you'll realize you've been doing it backwards your entire life. You've been waiting for your circumstances to change so you can finally be the person you want to be. But that's not how your brain works. That's not how the universe works. That's not how any of this works. You have to be the person first. You have to embody the state first. You have to go first, and then, only then, does reality follow. Here's what's actually happening in your brain right now. There's a network called the default mode network. Think of it as your brain's identity keeper. Its entire job, its only job is to make sure everything you think, everything you do, everything you perceive stays consistent with who you think you are. It's not trying to help you. It's trying to keep you the same, because to your brain, the same equals safe. And every single morning when you wake up, your default mode network boots up and asks one question. Who are we today? And you answer. Not with words, with how you move, how you breathe, how you hold your body, how you make decisions, how you react to things. You answer with your entire being, and your brain takes that answer and says, got it. Same person as yesterday. Let's run that program again. That's why nothing changes. Not because you're not trying, not because you don't want it badly enough, but because every day you're reconfirming to your brain that you're still the person who doesn't have it yet. You're embodying the before, not the after. You're acting like someone who's waiting instead of someone who's already there. And your brain doesn't argue. It just matches your reality to your performance. Want to know the most powerful thing I'm going to tell you? Your brain cannot tell the difference between pretending and being. Let that sink in. Your brain responds to the signals you're sending right now. Not your goals, not your vision board, not your affirmations, your actual embodied state, the way you're showing up in this exact moment. Think about how you fall asleep at night. You don't wait until you're actually asleep to act like it. You don't lie there with your eyes wide open, tense and alert, waiting for sleep to happen to you. You close your eyes. You slow your breathing. You relax your body. You pretend to be asleep. And then, because you're pretending, it becomes real. It's not a metaphor. That's neuroscience. That's how your brain works. It takes the signals you're sending and it makes them real. You're doing this with sleep. You're doing this with every automatic process in your body. But somehow, when it comes to your dreams, your goals, the life you actually want, you think you have to wait for permission from reality before you can embody it. You don't. Let me tell you about someone I know. They spent years waiting to feel confident, waiting to feel successful. waiting to feel like the kind of person who could have what they wanted. And one day, they made a decision. Every single morning, before they checked their phone, before they did anything else, they would spend 5 minutes embodying the version of themselves who already had it. Not visualizing, not affirming, embodying. They would stand differently, breathe differently, move through their morning routine as if they were already the person they were trying to become. And here's what happened. Within the first week, they made a decision they'd been avoiding for months. Within the first month, an opportunity appeared that they would have missed before because they weren't the kind of person who noticed those things. Within 3 months, their entire life looked different, not because the universe magically handed them everything, but because they changed who they were being. And when you change who you're being, you change what you notice, what you choose, what you do. You change everything. This is where most people get it wrong. They think acting as if means pretending to be happy when you're miserable, faking confidence when you're terrified, lying to yourself. It's not. Acting as if means sending your brain and the universe the correct signals about who you actually are, not who you were yesterday, not who you've been pretending to be to keep yourself small and safe, who you actually are underneath all that learned helplessness. The version of you that already exists. The one you keep talking yourself out of being because it feels too big, too bold, too audacious to step into without permission. But here's the thing. You're never going to get permission. The world doesn't give you permission to become. You give yourself permission by becoming. So let me ask you something. Who are you being right now? Not who do you want to be? Not who are you trying to become? Right now, in this moment, who are you embodying? Because that's who your brain thinks you are. That's who the universe is responding to. That's who your reality is built around. And if you're being the person who's still waiting, still hoping, still someday in their way through life, then that's who you'll keep being. Not because you're not capable, but because you keep confirming that identity every single day with how you show up. Your brain is listening. The universe is listening. And they're both saying, okay, this is who you are. We'll make sure everything matches. Here's your practice. Starting tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, before you check your phone, before you fall into your usual routine, you're going to do something different. You're going to embody. 5 minutes, that's it. Stand up, close your eyes, and ask yourself, how does the version of me who already has what I want move through the world? How do they hold their body? How do they breathe? What decisions do they make without hesitation? And then for 5 minutes, you become that person. You don't think about it. You don't analyze it. You embody it. You let your body teach your brain who you actually are. And then you carry that into your day. Not perfectly, not all day. Just a little bit more than yesterday. You make one decision as them. You respond to one situation as them. You show up to one moment as them. And you do it again tomorrow. And the day after. And the day after that. Because here's what nobody tells you about transformation. It's not one big moment. It's 1,000 small moments where you chose to be someone different, where you sent a different signal, where you embodied a different identity. And each time you do it, your default mode network takes note. It starts to rewire. It starts to update its understanding of who you are. And when that shifts, everything shifts. the opportunities you notice, the decisions you make, the way you carry yourself, the energy you give off, the reality you experience, all of it shifts. Not because you manifested it, but because you became the person who lives that reality. And when you become that person, the reality has no choice but to match. Now, if this is landing, if you're recognizing that you've been embodying the before instead of the after, I need you to do something. Go to the comments and type 6 words. I am the person right now. That's it. No explanation. Just that declaration. Because when you claim it publicly, when you state it as present tense, not future, something in your nervous system shifts. You're not saying you will be. You're saying you are. And your brain listens to that. The universe listens to that. And more importantly, you start listening to that. And if you know someone who's been waiting for permission, waiting for their circumstances to change, waiting to feel ready before they become who they're meant to be, share this with them. Ask them to declare it too. I am the person right now, because the waiting ends when the embodiment begins. If this resonated, subscribe so we can keep walking this path together. And if Super Thanks feels right, every bit helps me create content that actually matters instead of just fill space. But real talk, you being here, present, listening, I never take that for granted. Thank you. The truth is, you've been capable of this the entire time. You've just been practicing the wrong identity. You've been perfecting the performance of someone who's still on their way instead of someone who's already arrived. And every day you do that, you get better at being that person. Your brain gets more efficient at running that program. The universe gets more consistent at delivering that reality. But the moment you start practicing a different identity, the moment you start embodying the after instead of the before, everything that's been stuck starts moving. Not because you're finally worthy, not because you finally earned it, but because you finally stopped lying to yourself about who you are. You stopped pretending to be small when you're not. You stopped acting like you're still waiting when you're already ready. So here's what I need you to understand before January 1st, before you make another resolution, before you write another goal, before you promise yourself that this year will be different. The year won't be different until you are. And you won't be different by doing more. You'll be different by being more, by embodying the person who already has it, by moving through your days as them, by making decisions as them, by breathing as them, by existing as them. Not someday. Not when you finally achieve the thing. Right now. Today. This moment. Because your brain is listening right now. The universe is responding right now. Your reality is forming right now. And the question isn't whether you're capable. The question is whether you're finally ready to stop embodying the person who waits and start embodying the person who is. You don't need another year to become that person. You don't need another month. You don't even need another day. You just need 5 minutes tomorrow morning. 5 minutes where you stop pretending to be the person who doesn't have it yet and start embodying the person who does. And then you do it again and again and again until your brain rewires, until your default mode network updates, until the universe catches up to who you've been being. And when that happens, when you finally align your embodiment with your aspiration, you're not going to believe how fast things change, not because the universe suddenly decided to help you, but because you finally decided to stop lying about who you actually are. The performance ends here. The pretending stops here. Not the pretending to be who you want to be. The pretending to be who you're not. The pretending to be small. The pretending to be waiting. the pretending to be becoming instead of already being. The pretending stops, and the embodiment begins. And this video, this message, this moment, it did exactly what it needed to do. It showed you what you've been doing wrong. And now you can't unknow it. And now you have to choose, keep embodying the before or start embodying the after. The brain doesn't care which one you pick. The universe doesn't care which one you pick. But your life cares. Your future cares. The version of you that's been waiting for you to finally show up, they care. So what's it going to be? Who are you going to be when you wake up tomorrow? Because whoever you choose, that's who you'll become. And that person will build your reality. Make sure you pick the right one.